So it seems like my mic was not working all this time, which is absolutely incredible. So welcome everyone. Welcome to a brand new video. We are going to be looking who James Wynn is, and we are seeing some major news in play. He made 100 million in unrealized profit, and he lost everything. And we don't know much about him or who was he. But what we do know is that he lost it big. There's plenty of news. I was talking for like 3 minutes, and then I found out that I am actually not, that my mic is not working. So welcome everyone that is coming back. There seems to be a lot of talks about this guy, and he had 100 million. When you have that much money, it really makes you wonder, what will you do, right? Where will he go from here? Well, he decided to short Bitcoin at this time, and we don't know much about his past. We don't know anything about it. And guys, smash that like button if you haven't already. There's plenty of content I'm going to be talking about. Right now, I just fixed my mic, so we are ready for live streaming. He was born in a small town in the UK in December 2020. Alameda sent James Wynn about 6,000 ETH. Now, this could mean he was a quantum trader. The community was very small, and something tells me maybe Alameda consulted him or paid him. And $6,000 sounds just about right. If you don't know who Alameda is, let me just explain it to you. It's basically the trading company that crashed FTX. It was made by the FTX, where they made a lot of company. Then they decided to make their own exchange. They lost a ton of money. And here, he came back. He made tons of money in trading. He would know years later, in 2023, James Wynn found Pepe early. He bought a 300K market cap and called it at 600K. That win made him famous. And he predicted it will go to $4.2 billion. Now, if you want to make trades like this, it's going to be very hard to make it big like that. It's not going to be so easy to just say, oh, I found this meme coin and I'm going to make tons of money. So the issue with that is he's already probably trading for many, many years. And people don't realize how hard it is actually to make it big. And here we go. What he said after that, he started promoting new tokens on his profile and private groups, and he made money off that. I think he was already probably rich, but even got richer because he had trades himself. He was probably doing it for community. And what happened next is during 2024 and 2025, during the big crypto rally, he actually kept shilling his new tokens in the profile. Supposedly linked to him, it launched quietly and soon crashed. He erases most traces. Again, erased all the bad habits. I'm not too sure how much of that is true. So win, and then he kind of just spinned it once. Like, this doesn't tell me enough. If you just type a name and say win and gambling and then erasing all traces, and again, as long as you don't drug pretty big, that to me is not that insane. Like, it literally stood out for like 10 minutes and everything was taken from it, right? So not too much info on that. James then rebranded as Hyper Liquid Trader. I'm pretty sure he was trading before. He even turned down a 150K month offer from Bybit, saying no one can buy his loyalty. They wanted me to trade on Bybit. I won't stop using Hyperliquid even if they offer me 1 million a month. Now, that's pretty crazy. Imagine getting offered 150K from Bybit. I kind of believe that. Like, I know some people that get paid, a retainer from Bybit, and there's pretty big money in there. They can earn this by the seconds. I don't want to go into too much in details, but it sounds believable. He was already established at that time. He built an audience, and he built this Hyperliquid. He longed 1.1 billion with 40x leverage. Now, that is truly degenerate, because if you don't know what happens if you do 1.41 Bitcoin long, it basically means that you put a ton of money, and whatever happens, if Bitcoin goes slightly down, you will get liquidated. So that's how he made so much of his money, right? And now he was suspended off Twitter for some reason. In May 2025, James Wynn was trending for his huge positions. James was long on everything, so he 10x'd on said 10x leverage on Pepe. Okay, so he made 23 million off Pepe. Trump 5.7 million. Bitcoin 5 million. Fartcoin 4.5 million. In May 2022, James Wynn was sitting on unrealized profit of over 40 million. Oh my, 40 million. Now that's a lot of money. For anyone in the world, that's a lot of money, right? But I think that for him, it was kind of like an addiction to prove he can get to 100 million. And that's what made him really, really hyped, is he just kept on trading until he will grow and grow and grow. And he turned down 550,000 into 87 million just 70 days. Okay, so when you get that much money that fast, he was very risk averse. Then Bitcoin started to fall. In just 7 days, he lost $99 million. Again, it's way, in my opinion, I'm not a trader by any choice or any chance, but it's way easier from what I'm hearing is to actually long Bitcoin than short Bitcoin. So even after adding more collateral, James didn't seem to be hurt by the loss. He said 0.1 billion wasn't a lot of money. So literally this guy was a bit, either he was very arrogant or he was very disillusional, because there's a lot of people telling me $1 million isn't a lot of money. And when you go to Asia, there's people that destroy each other's lives for $100. So you got to consider that as well. Like, that is a big factor here that most people don't consider. Drop lines like money isn't real. 1 billion is not a lot of money to the enslaved mind with limitation, yes, but to a free where absolutely everything is available through work, belief, and conviction, it means nothing. It's 0.1 billion, a speck of dust in the world money. Well, I guess it's kind of true about that. I mean, for one person, this is true. Crazy how many people have never seen or heard such a number before. Like in crypto finance world, 100 million isn't big, but what you gotta think about is the 100 million is not owned by a single person, but by institutions. And something like tweet like this definitely tells me he's probably worked in like a trading algorithm sorts. So he's definitely like open spirited and lost all his money that way, because he's thinking, oh, it's nothing. Like, you know, who cares if you have 100 million? And I think something tells me that this for him was just fun. Because if he was offered 150,000, I think he was making a lot before from these trades. And then this actually happened on 31st May 2025. Soon he started asking his followers for donation, and some say he received up to 6 figures. I'm not surprised, because actually people on Twitter are very rich. You just don't realize it. Some people have infinite money glitch, especially when you build such a following. So he still got liquidated because he couldn't cover the positions. The final time on Bitcoin short was the liquidated price at 112,000. His account was suspended, and there's no sign he's coming back. I don't know why he got suspended. So assuming I win, everyone will be sending 1-to-1 back of their money. This is in God's hand now. Let's beat them. I need your help. And people send tons of money. You can literally see on other transactions. So why did he get suspended? That's my question. Like, this is the biggest thing. He made so much money and he wasn't happy with it. When is the stop for you? So he lost 100 million today, but it seems to me like he doesn't really care about money at any point, any shape or form. He doesn't really mind that. 100 million is a speck of dust to him. It's like if he had $0 or $10,000, he turned it from $500,000. And I'm guessing he got those $500,000 any point. He probably cashed out 1 or 2 million, and this was fun money for him, right? Just to gamble. But for someone holding XRP, even $10,000 would be life-changing. And this just tells me how much money there is right now in the world for people to long this, like do these crazy trades and have almost 100 million. He lost 99 million. So he went from 99 million, he didn't cash out. When would he cash out? At what point? Like, it doesn't seem like at any point he wanted to cash out anyway. And that tells me like crypto is super risky when you do these long leverage trades. If crypto keeps going up, you're bound to get destroyed. Yes, you could be right 10 times, 20 times, 40 times. But then at some point, you just have to be wrong one time to lose everything. So that's the most important factor from this update. Again, still, I think he will make some sort of comeback. But this was absolutely brutal for him. And if you're having a bad day, at least you didn't lose 100 million. Me, I was here, but I didn't buy it. So a lot of people had XRP, but they didn't buy any. 5 cents accumulated over. At any point, would you sell Bitcoin? When does it make sense to take profits? I'll say I'll be buying a top forever. Bitcoin is the exit strategy. Let's take a look at this.
Talk about your existing holdings. As I mentioned in the intro, now worth around $10 billion. You have paper gains of about 70% or so, which a lot of people would like to see that sort of return. At any point, would you sell? When would it make sense to take profits there?
Well, I've famously said I'm going to be buying the top forever. Bitcoin is the exit strategy. It is the strongest asset. So what we see right now is that Bitcoin has just emerged as a $1 trillion asset class. And it's alongside names like Apple and Google and Microsoft. But the difference between Bitcoin and the Magnificent Seven is Bitcoin's an asset class. It's not a company. There's not enough room in the capital.
So I think the big thing that Michael Saylor is saying that
it's not
here is he's probably going to be buying until it hits 1 million, and then he might be like selling it. The thing is, MicroStrategy, I think it actually sells Bitcoin to institutions as well. So they literally make commission off that for holding their Bitcoin.
Structure of those companies to hold 10 trillion or $100 trillion.
So every time they sell to a company, they got like 0.25% fee. So if they held very high amounts, that's a ton of money getting added up, right?
Worth of capital.
So it's never going to go, he's never going to probably sell everything. There's no need for him to. They hold like a very big personal fund and they like make money from selling to companies. So they're going to be afloat. I'm pretty sure he said they're going to be afloat for the next 25 years. So let that sink in. So they have another 25 years of money. I think like 40 years of company assets because they don't have too many employees, right? You just got to like track accounting, track taxes, track like this and that, business management. It's not like having a restaurant where a lot of food can spoil. A lot of this money will stay in place.
From those asset classes into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is technically superior to those asset classes. And that being the case, there's just no reason to sell the winner to buy the losers.
So yeah, he's basically saying at the end that why should I sell and buy like real estate when Bitcoin is going to be the winner? Of course, he's saying that because he's like 100% into crypto right now. So that is one of the reasons why he also is saying that. I'm pretty sure if he held 10 trillion of I don't know, real estate, he would definitely be saying real estate is the winner. Because, you know, he's holding a big portion of it. I think Bitcoin is still outperforming everything, but it's still very risky. So, Doge has been... So I think it pretty much explains to me what's going to happen with the crypto. It's gonna pump for sure. So let me check here. Kyber, let's see the trending tokens. This is a trending token, and I wonder why. Seems like a whale just bought from 14 million, went to 9 cents. So basically someone who bought it spiked in. Okay, so this is a very funny story. This coin, Alpaca Finance, I actually heard about Alpaca Finance back in 2021. spiked 200% in 24 hours due to technical oversold rebounds and speculative trading despite lacking fundamental catalysts. So what he's basically saying is there wasn't any news to make it explode, but it still did. Extreme RSI rebound 1 hour hit overbought as trader chased momentum. So people kept buying it even though there was no promise about anything different. It aligns with bullish technical signals. I'm not going to read the signals because the move lacks volume confirmation. 24-hour volume remains 70% below its peak. So look at this. This is the peak at $8. No, it was always 20 million. So look at this. It's actually hitting 40 million trading volume. Never hit 200 million. I don't know where he got 200 million. Maybe by AI chat. Did he use ChatGPT? Is the same volume as before, as 2021. Market cap makes it vulnerable to volatility. So I think some whale could have bought it at a very cheap price and it's not trying to pump it to 9 cents. Top 10 holders control 77% of supply. I wonder how many still have access to this. Enabling coordinated pumps. If you want to check if they really like did a coordinated pump, you have to check if the whale has bought it. But overall, pretty nice analysis. After he did this, as he said, it's oversold, but then people actually bought it to 9 cents. Yeah, you have big whales, but a lot of these whales might be marketing wallets, might be inactive wallets that will never wake up. Okay, so here's where he got this info. It went to 56 cents, crashed down, went to 40 cents, crashed down. What's happening with this token? I gotta check their X. Largest platform of leveraged DeFi products on BNB chain. Oh, okay, so I understand what happened. I guess they're having some sort of buybacks, but they only have buybacks for $1,800. 133 of the last 141 weeks were deflationary. Now 18% of their tokens are burned, right? The community is still there. So I guess someone bought it and they're going to have... Okay, we have made incredibly difficult decision to be sunsetting Alpaca Finance and all of its products. Wait, what? We're incredibly proud what Alpaca Finance achieved from becoming a top protocol on BNB chain to helping define. To our users, thank you for believing in us, farming with us, and sticking with us. Sad to see this happen. So they basically closed down the site and the meme coin basically exploded. Thanks for playing Alpaca Finance. People said I still hold $1,300. Many people were disappointed. I lost half of my fund. Now you run away. You've been great boost to BNB community. I still have BNB, and it seems BNB is available for withdrawal. What? I don't understand what this means. Does he have 900 million BNB? Oh, okay. I guess he can't withdraw all of the BNB. So they want to close the project. And people are very annoyed, but it seems like it's pumping. I'm not too sure why it's pumping. But the activity is so strange on this one. Like the team already closed down. Could be another meme token that hits another high. Could be. Guys, let me know in the comments what this means. Because right now, a lot of crypto projects got absolutely destroyed. So why is this one making a comeback? And why is it pumped? Why is it trending? Seems like a whale is literally playing with this token at 9 cents. It pumped from... They literally tried to restart it. Like they tried to restart the price. You can see they tried to restart the price here multiple times and it didn't work out. I think that was the main thing why it crashed. So... Everything ended just as it was probably meant to end. It was downtrend. Will it hold up last for long? No one tracing what is causing the pump. I think one whale bought it. This is the only possible scenario. One whale buys it and basically revives a dead token. Let's check the other coins that we have that are trending today. We have, what's this? Kyber Network. Kyber Network has actually been growing in such a crazy way from... Guys, imagine 12 million to 1.25 billion. It jumped over 100%, 100 billion trading volume. Over 2.32 million shorts were liquidated, surpassing even each short liquidations in the same period. Yeah, despite the funding rate, despite negatively at minus 1.3%, are still negatively aggressing KNC. They're saying it's going to crash. Huh? What is this token? What's happening on with the crypto markets during that? Seems like it spiked up a bit and crashed down. It always has these trends. Look at that, 2022, $5, 1.5. So someone waited for $5 and literally sold everything. He probably made a bag on this one. So what exactly is this that it made it trending? Swap Crypto, the best rates with Kyber Swap, the multi-chain aggregator available in 16 chains. DeFi will win. 8 years of building, learning, and evolving. And we're just getting started. OG teams don't fade, they lead the future. Well, seems like after 8 years of being like still on the market, it's actually a very good platform. If you can survive 8 years, that's pretty insane. But what happened is, I guess someone invested so much and pumped it up. And it literally spiked up in price. 24-hour of ETH looks like this. What about yours? Just swap it. We're so back. When is your next trade? So look at this. No activity at all from the users. But this just tells me like a whale bought a very big amount and is hoping it will spike. This must be a huge investment. 100 billion. 500 million. Look at that. This is not the normal one-day chart. 1.3 billion trading volume. This is more than Shiba Inu. And this coin is at what? It's at number 333. So something is going on here, and I don't know what's happening. People are talking about this. What exactly is happening? Nothing fancy, just a smart campaign with Arbitrum where traders got rewarded Arbitrum for using Kyber Swap. Volume exploded and KNC followed. Simple math. When a project actually works and plugs in a strong ecosystem, that's why I'm keeping along on Tansy. So it seems like they had a collaboration and the coin exploded. That's literally why they had a campaign, right? So they kept building and some whale decided to invest tons into it. Nobody knows why exactly. These are rumors of a protocol upgrade or relaunch. Whale accumulation or coordinating trading. I think it's the second one. Potential listings or DeFi integrations in the pipeline. I think something is happening in the background and we don't know what's happening, right? Why? Easy 1000% interest taking on Binance. That's why. Okay. So somebody's getting short them 1000% interest. That's why they bought it. Kind of makes sense if they get 1000% interest. I haven't fully checked on that. Maybe it's like 300 and dropping slowly. But if it's 1000%, that means they can make their money back. 1000% divided by 365. They make 2.7% a day. Now that is insane. If you put in 100K, you get basically 2.7K back and then sell the token. And anyone who bought it here at 32 cents. Again, this might be just rumor, but that is a lot of money that adds up really. So, my gosh. Let's check what happened with Bonk. I think XRP has a lot of nice news today as well. Now Bonk marketing is correcting or going sideways. Bonk is going beyond the major resistance. Bonk is now #1 market cap by Solana. So Bonk has really one major play that other cryptos don't. It's been launched on the Solana phone for the first time. And all the people that were using Solana phone bought it. You guys need to realize that as long as Solana is alive, Bonk will always be alive. It will never go away. For one simple reason. Bonk right now, Bonk is always going to be have the #1 support. So let me just tweet that. I love tweeting stuff. Bonk will always be #1 one on Solana, because it launched the first. Look at McDonald's. It was one of the first fast burger chains, right? Look at Apple, first computer. Look at Amazon, first global delivery service. Same as Apple, same as Amazon, same as Tesla. So, first global delivery service. First electric car. First computer. I guess it was like kind of not really first computer, but first computer for general use. Bonk will be the first meme coin. Bonk is the first meme coin. So there's like a power of the community that actually makes Bonk always stay strong, where others will never have that thing in the same way. Always the plan. So let's so Bonk is always gonna be like the number one, and it had its rally in 2024, but this is actually very early for cryptos. So still has a very big potential in my opinion, because if Solana goes up right now, it's not been going that much up. Wow. There is a ton of potential still with tokens like that. Like it, just look at XRP, 13 years of building to even get somewhere. Okay, so this is a long tweet. Okay, so this is a deep rabbit hole. I'm gonna read it because I'm bored and have time, but I usually don't read too much of this crypto stuff. While retail traders lose billions on meme coins, Pump Fund just pocketed $500 million by weaponizing psychology against it. What is this video?
Projects that can change your life.
There's no way my brain can process all that, so I'm not gonna watch that again. That is insane. In the US design, dark patterns are sneaky tactics that trick and manipulate users. In crypto launchpads, chaotic UX, bad UX isn't a bug. It's intentional design to hack your mind and spark impulsive high-stake trading. Their homepage is intentionally chaotic, flashing boxes showing new buyers and meme coins every second. I mean, that's pretty normal to do that, right? It's kind of like you need to do that to make these traders go wild, like the new one created and stuff like that. Why does a platform raising almost $1 billion look like trash? Because bad UX manufactures exclusivity. When everything is like perfect for finance, it polish implies mainstream adoption, killing the high risk mystique that drives speculation. I can agree with him. Crypto has always been not like mainstream stuff. Should I buy some Bonk? $21 worth. I'm hearing you and it sounds good. Thing is with Bonk, I think it really more depends on Solana. So that's the big thing with Bonk, right? So welcome to the channel. If Solana goes higher, Bonk might also go higher. So if you trust heavily in Solana, you could hold like a small portion of a meme coin. I wouldn't go all on it, and I wouldn't expect Bonk to be like tripling, 4xing, 10xing, but it can definitely 1x. It really depends if the meme coin market is going to be back pretty much soon. It's like if you believe that meme coins will get back, then it could be an awesome way to get in. Gosh, this like Pump Fund launched because it raised $500 million, and literally $500 million has achieved sympathetic wealth extraction. Fees extracted $700 million. There's $700 million of like these degenerate traders who are dumping on each other. ICO raised $500 million. 60% of users lose money. Worst odds in the blackjack. I guess if you trade right, it's literally gambling. But there's some people using bots, and I'm totally against that. I'm never gonna be on that website. 1,700 wallets lost 100K each. I'm not sure if it's like different wallets or if they're just gamblers. 99% never profit above $10,000. I mean, most people probably don't trade more than $10,000. They trade like 3,000, 2,000 to be fair. Only 0.0015%, mostly insiders, make 1 million. I don't know where he got this stats, but I kind of believe him. And that is insane what has happened with Pump Fun. So right now it's sold out in 12 minutes. It raised 500 million. But this just tells me if they raised 700 million and they made an ICO, definitely means that it could go up. So there is a post I made over here that there's a thread that Pump Fun's code was actually gone. So people talking about $2,000 pump airdrop. Do you own Pump Fun tokens? I mean, it would be cool if people are going to get up from $200 to $2,000, but you got to consider this is pump, like airdrops are just the bonus. People are expecting up to $10,000. People are losing in reality. Like $10,000 is nowadays a lot of money. I feel like you can buy a gaming computer. And when you put like $2,000 in a random meme coin, you got to realize you can sell that. You can literally sell that and buy yourself a gaming computer. That was a wake-up call when you can spend $2,000 on stuff that actually matters. But there's gamblers, and it's literally gambling. And when they raised 500 million, there was actually drama that Pump Fun is locked. So they lost their 500 million, but I'm pretty sure that was proven fake. So Pump Fun token sold out in 12 minutes. This one. The Pump pre-sale contract has no withdrawal function. Let that sink in. No way to move the funds. No dev access. No upgrade path. No earner keys. No fix. No mercy. 500 million worth of Solana is now permanently locked. Not in liquidity pool. Not in treasury. Not in cold storage. Just frozen on chain. So $500 million burn. That is insane. But is this true? There's this trader that said that. Inverse bra. And from now I'm blocking anyone who says grok is just true. So he actually didn't delete this post yet. This got 300k views. Nobody replied to me. Solana burned forever. So $500 million gone forever. People are saying it's real. Then other people are saying it's a different transaction. This guy's saying he got 44k. He doesn't understand that they can create another token easily with a withdraw function and do one-to-one airdrop. That's not how it works. If the money is lost, the money it's lost. Sorry, but it seems incorrect. How many big are involved in pre-sale? Many. Wait, is this real? People are asking. It's not real. It's capped. Don't listen to anyone. So that they're saying that they lost 500 million, but then they gave the wrong contract address. I'm trying to find if there's anyone who can confirm. There's just people saying, "Whoa, that's crazy," but $500 million being lost, being burned, could actually be pretty big for Solana. Because that would mean 500 million Solana would be gone forever. $500 million of Solana. This contract just the pump token, so it means nothing at all. Who said they were going to add 500 million in liquidity? And then this contract just the pump token, so this means nothing at all. And seems like this guy was probably incorrect. So 430 million is still on the chain. My friend on Twitter said so. Nice engagement farm. This is the correct address. You all love to lose money on fake coins. So it was actually just the fake coin. It's so easy to troll people. Like people don't realize that you can say anything and get like 380,000 views on Twitter. It just shows me how many people are still like very active in this space and how easy it is to get famous, basically. Because if there's gonna be like fake news, this is like a fake address anyway, right? it tells me that people can say the most stupid stuff and get views still. So definitely not right. Pump Fund raised 430 million, and it's probably gonna do shit tons with the money. They literally sold out in 12 minutes. It's the third biggest pre-sale in history. So that's a lot of money in crypto, 430 million. What are you gonna do with that? They said they want to become the next Facebook, right? And we're gonna see what really happens. I think they're making so much money with Pump Fund. Now Bonk has launched. They're gonna compete against that because it's so much money in the space of these meme coin degenerate trading that they're gonna go for it. They're gonna try to get another, because there's gambling addicts on there that will like buy $300, $400. Altcoin season's here. Alt season doesn't start. It starts with ETH outperforming Bitcoin. ETH hasn't even broken the Bitcoin ETH ratio. How is this true? So right now, ETH all is pumping. ETH ETF, ETH inflows, new issuance. Old Bitcoin ratio. How is this true? Still a long way ahead. So the issue I am concerned with Ethereum open interest over here is more institutions are in fact buying. But right now, Ethereum open interest is still, like, open interest hitting the 21 billion, while Bitcoin's OI, I guess open interest, stabilizes exactly the divergence pattern that historically precedes all seasons. The Ethereum issuance creates the supply squeeze we're starting to see. What's fascinating is how this pattern has repeated across multiple cycles, but most traders miss it while looking for fireworks. The smart money is positioning before retail even realizes what's happening, like Olympic athletes training while everyone else is watching Netflix. I mean, if this was 100% true, right? Let's say it's 100% true. What's stopping people from basically buying all of this supply, or buying all the ETH and opening up longs and saying this is a bit, Ethereum is going to go to 3,000, 5,000? Because nobody knows for sure what's going to happen in the alt season. This can be automatically destroyed. And just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to start now. So when people realize that the past, there's indicators. There's definitely indicators that something will change, something will go up. But the real issue is we could be seeing nothing in that sense like the past. So maybe Ethereum is going to be $1,000. It doesn't show like it, but you can never be too sure just like checking these charts. In my personal opinion, I think we're going to be waiting for the institutions to come in and buy Ethereum. They've already been buying Bitcoin. What's stopping them from buying ETH? So when that happens, then we are going to be seeing crypto going up and majorly coming up. When the retail investors come in, it's going to be a major bull run. So let's check another thing, 171 billion.
Crypto's about to get
Okay, so 171 billion, a new all-time high.
It really, really easy. The hardest thing you're going to have to figure out how to do or when to do is to take profit. And I'm going to do video.
I definitely agree with that, but the issue is it can always go up in crypto. You never know when not to take profit, right? So that's why there's like gamblers on crypto, because sometimes like they sell a coin for $30,000 and then it goes to $300,000. They sell a coin for 50K, and that's the mindset most people have. You have to have a barrier where you're okay to sell.
Surge is much bigger than what we saw over the last several days here. Okay, now obviously there's no guarantees. This isn't financial advice or anything like that. And we're starting to see some pretty distinct signs in terms of BTC dominance. I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself. We still have, some further extensions to go here. But when we look around the crypto market, there is this huge presence of short interest right now. And I know I've talked about interest in other videos, but
so here we can see short interest, open interest. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin basically rising, crypto rising because of this one single indicator. That's what I'm most worried about, is like everyone is relying on this one single indicator. I think the big institutions will probably find out about this indicator and decide, what other indicators can we look at to short or buy Bitcoin? The biggest indicator for me is when the corporations started selling their Bitcoin and buying Ethereum.
Included, had an imbalance to the short side. Just to show you guys here, right now, 4%.
One reason is like people keep coming back to my stream and my channel is not because I'm the biggest, but usually because I am right by the stuff I talk about. Again, not financial advice, but a lot of stuff I predicted right. I predicted Shiba Inu's crash right, and that means something.
Companies quietly.
So this is pretty big. This is why Bitcoin mostly pumped, right? Coinbase quietly added Bitcoin to their balance sheets. They didn't even announce it. They don't have to announce it. They just have to include it in the balance sheet.
Enterprises stacking BTC, government stacking BTC, and there are still people just being very not smart. I didn't want to say stupid, but they're being very not smart right now, okay? And they are betting very heavily against assets in the crypto market. I don't think this is going to end very well for them. Now, obviously, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. And what I will say is we need to see a lot of what we've seen. We need to see confidence remain high. We still need to see big accumulation taking place. And I can't remember how.
I think before we see 150,000 Bitcoin, we're on a very good path to do that. There's actually a lot of hype when this happens.
Thought about where I was going. Oh, I remember now. What I also found, and I've talked about this in some other videos, retail is starting to pay attention as well. Both Rob.
So yeah, most like new retail investors have finally started to come back in crypto. And I think that's the big factor that's actually going to save crypto is this point. That's why institutions are buying first, and then it's the big corporations.
Robinhood and Crypto.com have now entered the top 200 free app downloads in the Apple App Store. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, so that means something. It means people are probably also, for me, it also means that people are kind of coming back to crypto after their crypto probably crashed and they just delete the apps and use it on the web browser. And they have maybe like $300, $1,000, $10,000, and then they reinstall the app.
When we have seen this historically speaking and all these things moving together, it has led us on huge, massive extensions in the crypto market. And
so there is some indicators that basically the pump might be starting right now. We're like in the start of the pump. And we don't know how long this pump will last. We don't know if the prices will reach. Analysts are saying 170,000 Bitcoin. Like XRP already had its run as well. A good run.
Without the big news headlines, right? It feels kind of similar to February into March, but it on a bigger note, okay? And what I will say is that right now we're still flashing 0 out of 30 bull market peak indicators, okay? We're on the verge of something really.
Look at this, 100% hold. Everything is saying to hold. That is insane. I never saw that before, that like all the indicators said to hold your BTC basically. ETF to Bitcoin ratio says hold. Everything tells you to hold. Again, I think they're kind of skewed as well, but anyone like shorting the market right now, if they do a short, they're going to make tons of money if Bitcoin goes down. So there's for sure people doing it, but not because the indicators show. They're playing basically the underdogs and getting like 70% of the profit for the shorts. But right now, it doesn't look like the shorts might happen. Right now, it looks like the shorts will definitely explode.
It seems like it's just going to run forever. It won't. There will be important times to take profit and, pull your positions. The only thing I don't like about the charts right now is just that we've been up in this overbought range for weekly or for daily stochastic RSI, basically since back here.
I think if the markets don't move, that's a problem. But right now, the markets are moving. Like if we see Bitcoin just staying at the same price level, yeah, that's obviously problematic because people get bored of the same price. That's what we saw in 2021 June. Prices went down because they were too stable. Like people went on summer vacation, people didn't do their jobs, and that's why Bitcoin really went down. The traders didn't trade. All the institutions went home. All the retail investors, they had vacation. And once you have these big traders come in and buy the supply first, the retail comes up next. So yeah, it definitely does seem like that Bitcoin is going to go up, but nobody knows for sure how much. The good indicators, though, are that right now Bitcoin could go up a bit more. It could go up $3,000, could go $10,000, could go $15,000. Nobody knows for sure. But it's definitely going up, in my opinion. But who knows? Like, it's one indicator is not enough. So he's going to be making it back. And there is gonna be more money to be made from basically selling to retail investors. That's my opinion. Like, there's gonna be a lot of retail investors coming in, and these big institutions might sell everything to them. They might sell the shovel, they might sell extra Bitcoin, and they might buy it themselves. That's why they're buying big supplies for cheap now, because they will need to hold these assets. If they want to sell 10 million of Bitcoin, they will need to hold actually 10 million of Bitcoin. It won't be like a FTX scenario where the website crashes and they're going to get it for very, very cheap. So I got a couple months. I needed the money to buy Sol. It was just $67. Congrats, bro. Congrats.
A lot of people watching this video are going to make a lot of
XRP, this one I'm bullish on. Like, XRP has been building for years and now finally has to show for it. It was just like trading in the sidelines, but right now it's going great.
money with XRP. We're going to be million.
What platform do I buy, trade on? Basically, you can buy on any platform. Like, you can use Bybit, you can use Crypto.com. Right now, I'm not buying anything, but I would just use the one that you find easiest to use. Literally, Coinbase or Kraken is what people use in US. XRP has been proven great gains. Like, if you're up $250, that's literally amazing. Like, even if you're up $100, that's like in the US, that's like a month's supply of food. But maybe it grows up more. Maybe 10x's basically. Who knows? Like, XRP is the one that I am really gonna be looking out for. I'm holding probably not such a big position on XRP as other people, but the technology behind it, I really do believe it. The collaboration they have, they're like the only one, except Jasmy, which is working with the Japanese government. So Jasmy Coin is another one that works with Japanese or Korean. I think it was like Korean government, but no other crypto do I know that works directly with the institutions and the government itself. Nobody had a hearing like that. So that's the thing with these coins. They can really explode.
Beginners, rich. I don't know, guys. We're going to do really well. But this guy just gave me an idea. I'll tell you right now. What if you never stop buying XRP? That makes sense. Check it.
So yeah, this guy, we all saw Michael Saylor. And people never stop buying XRP. But I think the whales are holding a very big amount of XRP, much more than with Bitcoin. That is because XRP had a pre-sale, and there are still whales that are holding that amount, waiting for it to go to $10, $15, right?
Smash the like button, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below how you're feeling. Obviously, I think right now people are taking profits. And here on BTCC, you can take a look at where I sold one of my positions to, take some profits, and we'll see how the market, moves, and I'll be able to, continue cashing out. I have 200. So if I can.
Yeah. I mean, like, people are slowly cashing out their Bitcoin. You could buy XRP as much as you wanted from the IPO, and you could buy it for a very cheap price. And that's the thing with Bitcoin. People had to buy it from another person. So there could be like that the XRP company is selling it for profit. Like, it's going to be hard to hit $5, but I think it's going to happen. I think it's bound to happen at some point.
I'll be here, guys, just adding more, right? I have some positions in.
I mean, like, if you compare it to Trump coin, I got no idea about that, because the issue, like, with Trump coin and everything else, it hasn't been here yet for so many years. XRP has stayed and proven itself for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And with Jasmy and all of that, you really got to build to develop something.
So keep an eye on it, fam. Bitcoiners are not selling. Never.
So I guess like if the big institutions are not selling, XRP might follow. Again, if Bitcoin is going to be $1 million, I'm not too sure if people will still be buying that. It might stay stable, but it won't ever see the same gains. Why? Because they're not going to expect Bitcoin to 10x. Right now, institutions are buying Bitcoin with the expectation or promise that it's going to hit 1 million. So that's literally a 10x for them, if not more, or 20x. That's what the governments are doing. If you have $10,000, are you going to put it in Bitcoin? Probably, maybe, yes, you make some money. But if you have 10 million, that's like literally 100 million. So the more money you have with crypto, the more money you make, and the more money you can lose, you lose. But here, what I see is the government is going to be buying big amounts like US. And that's where really cryptos like Bitcoin win, like in big things. There's also obvious gamblers who are looking for the next big pump, but it usually doesn't happen. So yeah, it could be that. So here's another video that actually made it very interesting. This is what XRP employee drops a major bombshell. Floodgates are open. How much will 0.1 Bitcoin cost if it's 1 million? So it will cost 100,000 if it hits 100 million. I think it will hit 1 million. I think it's only a matter of time, because with all these big institutions buying, it just makes total sense, right?
Bank of America,
like, why would they buy otherwise if they could buy real estate?
lists Bitcoin as the best performing currency of 2025. And this is their list right here. Are we even surprised at this point? You know, if you are part of the crypto.
So if you guys don't know, I actually missed out on 2016 bull run. I thought I missed out on Monero XMR, and I could have gotten it for $5, and at the time it was $20. And I said, oh, I missed out on it, and someone gave me $20 for free on Reddit at the time in 2016. And I was like, oh, I missed out on it already on Monero. Legit, guys, it was $3 to $5. Turned to $20. So what we saw next is Monero going up to $300 now. Nobody has 10K to throw at any crypto asset, especially your average person. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, most people in the US, though, what can you buy with $10,000? So they try to invest in stocks, real estate. When you check at US, like, people, like especially middle age, you have a lot of expendable income. So he gave me $20. Like, some person gave me $20 Monero. It just tells me how much money there is in crypto. So if somebody has $10,000 and he's investing in crypto, he probably has more than that. You'd be surprised. Like, there's literally people who I saw invest $100,000, $200,000 because they don't want to buy an apartment. Apartments are expensive. Yes, if you are, like, you know, young and in your 20s, having a car is going to be super super expensive. But the real reasoning is, like, when you're middle age or when you're older, you can have it for much cheaper, basically. Like, you make much more money. That's what the point I'm trying to make.
To the XRP holders, thank you for all your.
Yeah, so a lot of rich people own XRP because they bought it early. They got 10 years to invest. When you're like 25 or 35, you have just 10 years to invest. But when you're 55, if you invested in your 20s, even just like $1,000, especially when the markets were much smaller 20 to 40 years ago, they literally compounded their investment. So their $1,000 is maybe like $14,000 now. And they are just like buying Monero that or Ethereum, or they can have other sources of income. So the good thing with money is really it's compounding. So once you make money like that, so XRP, like, for example, when people buy 50 cents or let's say 1 cent of XRP and they sell it all from $1,000 to $100,000, they can literally diversify. And some people do that with apartments, stocks, we're actually going to talk about Crow later, so smash that like button. We got to check on that. I actually made a video on that on Kronos as well. If you haven't seen it already, I need to see if it's scheduled. But XRP, let's just check this news right here really fast, because I want to see what's here.
They're just revolutionizing
Then we'll get back to that.
the way crypto is handled, and of course, taking crypto to the masses, meaning clients around the globe or within.
Yeah, so their next step for XRP is to literally work with the retail investors and basically use XRP for payments. Because XRP can have fast payments, right? That's the whole point of XRP. That's why they have to work with governments. Because if they can work with governments, imagine going to 7-Eleven and having XRP in the store as a payment platform.
See that all-time high happen.
That's what's keeping investors back. Because with lawsuits over and the government basically saying
12 months from now on, people will call Ripple an XRP treasury company. Do let me know your personal thoughts down below regarding that as well. But if you're looking at the dominance as stated earlier, we did see.
Yeah, so this very much couldn't be true, but Swift nearing agreement with Ripple, I don't think this is like, this could not be true, right? This is very hard to get a Swift, but I think in 5 to 10 years, we could be actually seeing something like that happen. And that's the important factor. And, you know, if this, they switched on EDX clearinghouse. So the issue with governments and regulation is it takes a lot of time. That's literally the biggest thing that they have. They needed time. They needed 13 years to develop a product.
See the previous cycle, especially the 2018 levels, but 2018 did not have much resistance as much as the one that we have built in just a short span of time. So I am personally projecting that, you know, once you do see BTC dominance shows a little bit more downside, you know, pretty much going back to that 64.13%.
So he's basically saying once Bitcoin drops, Ethereum will rise. I mean, XRP will rise. And this is very much a possibility. The issue with XRP, I don't think it's going to hit its all-time highs yet. I mean, it might hit $3 for sure, $3.6. I'm talking about true XRP gains like $10, $15. Will take probably 5 to 10 years in my opinion. Like $8, $15 XRP, it might take much more than that because once they need to have a lot of legal stuff with the government. And to have the legal stuff with the government, it just takes a lot of time. We gotta check what's on with Kronos as well. I actually made Kronos has been up lately. There's been a lot of talk about Kronos, about all these awesome coins, but XRP has always been in my heart because it's always gonna be the most developed token there is.
Token just went vertical basically out of nowhere, and with the sudden pump it also became the #1 on CoinMarketCap, currently ranking number.
So yeah, the Kronos ETF is something that I've been talking a lot about, and I think it's a big part of getting crypto ETFs out there and having actual stuff like ETFs. So the regular investor doesn't know how to use the exchange, a normal crypto exchange. So the ETF will basically help them get their own platform for easier, get their own crypto and have someone hold it for them or buy it for them. That's what ETFs literally are. They're just an alternative to crypto exchanges. They hold it for you. And you know, they hold it for you and they take a very, very small fee, like 0.25%. So people have to realize like this will make buying crypto easier. And when stuff is easy, like look at casinos, you can put $10 in, right? It's easy for them. It's easy. With crypto right now, you have to buy an account. You have to top it up. After you top it up, you have to know how it works. When you know how it works, you have to know how to use the right ticker or the right conversion or click buy. And you have to use the right, you need to know which one you're buying, right? But when you're buying an ETF, you can just type in Bitcoin on your cash, let's say Robinhood. Well, Robinhood's not holding any ETFs, but let's say you're working with a bank and you want to say to the bank, I want to buy this stock. Bam, done. You buy it. That's it. You can literally call a bank person and they buy it for you if that's allowed.
As you can see here, it is called the crypto blue chip.
So again, this is the next big thing with crypto, is why ETFs might, why Solana wants to have an ETF, why Bonk wants to have an ETF, and why Crow wants to have an ETF. And also Pudgy Penguins has been rumored, which is a meme coin. But again, it's not just the institutions that want to have it, or just the Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to be other meme coins as well and other stuff, because as long as there's trading volume and people willing to buy, there is going to be activity.
Chip ETF. So the best of the best cryptos all in one basket, like what we see with the ETF trackers, for example,
There's
for the
a
stock
website
market. Anyways, the interesting thing is, I think, the allocation here, because you can see.
So yeah, 8% Solana, 5% Crow, 1 thing, and 2% XRP. Now this, you know, kind of, I think it's because of legal issues. I kind of said that before, but that's the thing right now, is it's never going to be 100% yet, because I don't know. I don't think if it's going to be 100% Crow or 100% Solana, they're going to get enough trading volume to make it worth it for them. I think it costs a lot of money in legal stuff, and you need to hold it one for one. So if someone buys 10 million of Ethereum, you need to hold 1 million of Ethereum.
70%. That's Bitcoin, the big king, of course. Then,
but you know, Pudgy Penguins has been pushing for an ETF, and meme coins might actually get it.
50% is Ethereum, 8% Solana, and this is the big surprise really for the blue chip, which is the 5% Crow allocation. And then finally, 2% XRP. But again, guys, 5% Crow allocation in this crypto blue chip ETF. In my humble opinion, there are two main takeaways here with this news. The first one, ETHEREUM.
So let's take a look. Bitcoin spot ETF, like everybody is buying ETFs already, right? So how about Chronos? Will it go up?
Interesting. But first, I do need to remind you all that what I'm saying in this video is by no means any financial bin. So this purple line started all the way in May of...
Yeah, so the thing with Chronos, why it pumped so much, in my opinion, is also because it's been so low. So when a crypto is low, obviously it's going to be going up, because it's very much easier if it's low. Like at 81 cents to reach $1 is going to be much harder than from it going from 8 cents to 9 cents, or from 6 cents to 9 cents. It just takes a few million, right? Or probably more, maybe like 50 million, 30 million, but it definitely makes that effect.
2025. But let's go back now to the 5-minute chart, because yes, we've broken out of this resistance line, but also now we do see we are into the next resistance line, which is the blue line.
So basically a whale is someone who holds a very large amount of crypto, or who buys a very large amount of crypto. It could be someone that has maybe, you know, $10 million in their wallet, or $1 million in their wallet. That's basically a crypto whale. So you have someone called a fish, which is basically someone holding maybe $1,000 of a crypto. And then you have a whale, which could be a big institution. It could be a trader, could be basically anyone at that point, as long as he holds a lot of money.
And here, the logarithmic band line here that we have, we bounced again, we bounced again here. But after the news of the US joining the Iran war with Israel, we fall below it. We fell below.
Yeah, so that's the issue. Like Chronos has been 85%, and a lot of people have been holding their coin Chronos 85 cents, not 85%. They've been holding 85 cents, guys, which means they sold. They haven't still sold it, because they locked in their tokens, and they were watching their tokens being locked. And they locked it for like benefits, like the Crow card rewards, which were removed. There's a lot of these big players. I know someone locked in $300,000. Guess what? It's maybe like $20,000 now. So a lot of money was lost, and they're waiting for it to recover. But there's so much more competition now for Chronos. That's one thing I'm really worried about Chronos, is you have ETFs, you have basically one of the major key players. You have MicroStrategy. It's in 2021, there was so many crypto users, and what do I think is the big competitors to Chronos? I think it's like big exchanges like Bybit, Binance, anything else, but Coinbase, Kraken, all of these are competing for retail investors, everyday buyers, right? And now you have ETFs coming in, which is banks. Banks are now going to be selling crypto. So that's my worry about Chronos right now, is how is it going to regain? Like, it had a $300 million partnership with, I think it was a crypto com arena. It was $300 million, right? It had the actor, what's it called? Matt Damon. I think his name is Matt Damon, if I remember correctly. So there is marketing side, but then they have, you know, what can we do as an exchange to make it better?
This dotted line corresponds with the 12-cent level that we also talked about here. And if you break that one, we can also go to the next line, which typically would be about 18 cents. So that will be the short term. Longer term, and I think you guys might be interested in the longer term, I think in this cycle, it is still possible to go even into the red territory. The red territory is the absolute.
All right, let's check Neura Labs up next.
We're putting.
So I think, yeah, we said that about. Let's see what Neura Labs actually is. Halftime today. Here, pull this up. Neura Labs. AI-powered Web3 wallet, patent pending DeFi tech, secure, scalable, future-proof. So one thing I want to make sure at is when I look at it, I want to look at the price. So the price has been 0.018 cents, has now dropped to 4 million. For all this saying a scam, we see in few highs where we end up. Remember, Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs, meaning people sell to get in Bitcoin. Neura will fly off in a few days once Bitcoin cools and ETH takes off. Why would we sell Bitcoin to get into this? Come on, Neura, make me rich. I believe, Neura, everything will be all right. So if you look at an all-time high, it dropped 75% of its price. My bad for buying this token showed its true bottom, waiting to see low before aping in. So it seems like it's dropping, and people are not happy about this. Return around, money will return. Sell before it drained you. Why does this keep dumping? Those who are selling will regret it later. So the reason why I'm looking at this one is because it's followed by some of the people I follow. So let's take a look at, because this is the second time I've been mentioning Neura Labs. AI-powered Web3 wallet. Now, the issue with Web3 wallets is there's so many competitors to Web3. AI, great thing, but, you know, faded off 2024. So Web3 wallets are a very saturated market. And the issue with Web3 wallets, if you want to keep high amount, you have to build trust, right? All these big platforms, they want to build trust by itself. And this launched in May. So if I foresee this going up, I suspect they will need years of development. Years before this goes up. Native Neura staking is the way. I think that's how people made money as well. Look, 30 days, 10% APR. That's a lot of money. Like this definitely gets a lot of traders in. 1 or 2 users staked, and when they lock in their Neura tokens, earn up to 50% API. Again, what are people going to do with their locked-in tokens? I'm guessing they're going to probably sell like the remaining. I don't know if they get it like at the end. But that's the thing. When people stake their tokens, they basically say they won't sell, but they get rewarded for it. And it basically creates a dump. In short term, it's good, but in long term, you're giving out free tokens away. Like Pepe doesn't have any staking. Bitcoin doesn't have any staking. Ethereum has staking, but it's it has a limited supply, right? And here I'm seeing a lot of follows. Again, the issue with tokens like these, like Neura Labs, is you need to build up and have people trust you to use their wallet. And it might take a long time before that happens. And the price might be going down further because there's going to be, development issues. There's going to be development time. That's why people are really frustrated. Held Gala 4 years ago, and I took it 1,200 to 2.5 million in 1 year. hold tight, move out in stages as it climbs. I usually do 20% increments. So this guy is, I don't know if it's true he made 2.5 million, but in crypto I'm not too afraid of anything. But it's been kind of trending as well, Neura Labs. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm wondering, the market cap did fell down swiftly. So one of the whales sold, and now it's like people playing the long-term game on this one. So that's my thoughts on Neura Labs. Right now, super competitive space. AI has been popular 2024. Who knows if it's going to be the same. So yeah. Let's do one more, Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid is one of the biggest exchanges out there. But this is an exchange for traders, and that's what keeps traders happy, and that's why it's been pumping. So the way I heard about Hyperliquid is it was actually used by some of the key players, which have been, I think his name was James Wynn. He had $100 million. So he made $100 million, and Bybit offered him money by his account. He said that. And he didn't want it, and he still wanted to use this platform. So I wanted to see why this is a number 11 crypto. And I think you have better fees. The blockchain into house all finance. Trade, build apps, launch tokens on the same hyper-performant chain. New time, all-time high in open interest. So Hyperliquid has listed Pump USD Hyperpulse. You can now long or short the unlaunched Pump token with up to 3x leverage. And this is why I'm bullish on this platform. So right now it's going up because there's more traders coming in because of the bull run. There is one problem with this one though, is once the bear market starts, this is going to be the first one to be hit. So, okay, there's, just recover my Coinbase. I have a coin that's up, Infinity percentage won't let me click. It might be a bug. So the thing with this coin is I believe that it has infinite potential as long as more people join in, because there's so many traders in crypto. They want to use different platforms that basically reward them. So you can trade, build apps, and launch tokens on the same hyper-performant chain. Everybody is like using this. Like there's a big community on this. And they're listening to the community. This is another factor why people love this one. So listing is not endorsement of this project. Thank you for everyone who took to thoughtfully respond to my post on transparent markets. So he's the owner, and I guess the owner is doxed. That's what's keeping people hyped. They actually listen to the community. I think they launched Hyperdrive, which actually pumped the prices. The stablecoin money market built for Hyperliquid, foundational layer for making everything on Hypercore liquid. Look at that. 5K likes. So yeah, it's basically promoting this to traders, if I understand correctly. Everything DeFi needs decentralized finance. So they're launching a lot of stuff. Now the question is, how will this token rise? Hit multiple all-time highs today, including open interest, 24-hour fees. So the issue here is they have a very big competitor, and that is Bybit. Bybit is actually the biggest platform for traders out there, and they have an infinite money glitch. But there's one thing that saves this platform, and that is the die-hard community. That whoever is on X, you will see them talk about this platform. You will see them how they make money extra. Integrate Hyper EVM chain, surveillance podcast. So community request, you can now long or short launch coin. So there's tons of stuff that make this pump. All-time high in open interest. Again, as long as new traders keep joining in, this is going to pump. The issue is it's very new. And once the traders drop off, once the retail investors don't go here, you will need to rely on institutional traders, institutional investors, and that's where you got to change up like your strategy. So who knows about hyper liquid or hype? Looks kind of cool though. The blockchain to house all finance. Doesn't need to be. For the first time, build projects, create value, and exchange assets on the same hyper-performant chain. Decentralized exchange. So I guess like people... Oh, so if I understand correctly, this is like a trading platform for people who don't want to make an account. Now that's big. So there's a lot of people who don't want to do that. Fully on-chain order books, trades, funding, seamless, one-click trading, no wallet approvals to interrupt your full flow. Perps and spot trading books are 2 flagship applications. Now that's big. So one thing that a lot of crypto users want is anonymity. So there was one trader offered 6 figures per month to trade on their platform, and he never did it because I guess this platform is anonymous. And he didn't want to reveal who he is. They wanted to pay him 6 digits, and he didn't want to do it. So this is where people will win, but it's going to be mostly used by people who already understand trading, right? It's going to be used by people who have traded for 10 years. But that's not a bad thing at all. I think that's a good thing. And it's probably made by a trader himself, because the guy is very famous on crypto Twitter. Definitely bullish. If we get more like long-term crypto traders on board, I think a lot of people from Forex will join crypto. They already have in 2021. They've been joining up in the masses before because it was easier money for them. Forex is not so easy to trade. It's super competitive. And they look for easy money like crypto. So there is so much crazy stuff going on in just the past week for crypto. I definitely think that we are going to be seeing some parabolic altcoins this season. I don't know if it's going to be greater than 2021, but would be nice. Would be definitely nice.
Guys need to listen.
One more video, and then let's see what we do next. Maybe hit the bed.
Up because it is official. XRP has officially broken the US dollar, and this is 100% by design. Okay.
So I want to see how it broke the US dollar.
Actually, the debt are 2 totally different numbers, vastly different numbers. There is the $36 trillion that they report, and then there's the $161 trillion, which is the truth. Each taxpayer's share of the current debt is $900.
Yeah, that will never be paid out though. So that's the issue. This will never be paid out. There've been these tariffs that have been like a political move.
These tariffs as a negotiation tool to get a better deal. But you can see right here, Brazil with the 50% tariffs.
Like they're going to negotiate probably for way less.
Some pretty big numbers in here, right? They're no small little numbers, and they definitely deserve our undivided attention. The whole
like European Union already negotiated for 10%. It's basically a negotiating tactic.
With all of that being said,
Michael Saylor said that this is the best, right? That he's going to hold Bitcoin because it's the best tactic.
We can see here. And the Kabosi letter provides a pretty unique perspective here, and I want to cover it because I do think it deserves some attention. We can see, they say, the market will be a little phased by this announcement on Monday, right? In fact, the market may end up actually closing green, according to them. Why do we say this? Well, it's clear that this is entirely...
Exactly. It's entirely negotiating tactic with a small chance that these tariffs even stick. So he's basically putting his money on countries saying, can we please have 5% instead of 50%? And he's going to have 55% for the rest of the life paid to the US government.
A negotiating tactic by President Trump with a small chance that these tariffs even stick. Adding to this view, An EU spokesperson just said that that the U.S. informed the EU in advance before the letter for tariffs was sent. Furthermore, markets had already been anticipating the
Yeah, if someone informed US, it's for sure priced in. There's probably big institutions coming in and dropping it.
momentum of XRP, right? You can see this candle lost the majority of its gains, this one right here. And this candle right here is barely cut even right now. In the last 24 hours, in fact, we are down about 2.1%. Recently, like
The issue with tariffs is a lot of money is already priced in. Like US and Europe tariff war is already priced in and everybody's so sick of it.
bottom at 235 to 240, somewhere in that range, which I think, by the way, is extremely likely. And then we continue moving up from there. I think it's extremely likely that we break $3 sometime in the next.
What we need just one bullish news for the stock market. For Ethereum, that's all that we need is one bullish, simple news that will pump Bitcoin sky high, and it will take the rest of the all the income up. I think that's the only thing that crypto really needs at this point, and nothing else. If that happens, it's all positive green news. But if we get more crypto tariff news, if we get more, all this conflict news and tariffs and bad stuff that Trump has been talking about, there's a very high chance that the market might slump, but the good news, it might recover later. So same for XRP. XRP is now waiting where it can go from here. And they're waiting if XRP can clear that regulation path. So I'll keep you guys more updated on that. I'm going to end the stream a bit early today, so smash that like button if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you all. Just going to end it a bit early because I've been a bit lazy today. I've been like playing video games and doing other stuff and just enjoying life to the fullest. It's Saturday, but I'm streaming every single day. I'm streaming usually around these times anyway. I'm streaming live on Kick, Twitch. I'm very active on Twitter right now because I'm trying to reach 1,000 followers. And it's probably going to happen at this point, if you believe it or not. So gonna do some video editing, not going to bed yet, but I think it's pretty clear that my eyes are completely exhausted. So thanks, bro. Welcome to the stream, and we'll be here around. We'll be making tons of content. So see you guys soon, pretty much soon. Gonna have some videos live on YouTube, and then we can go from there. So yeah, lots of content next week. See you guys.